All right, welcome to the first video for section 2.4. We're talking about the empirical rule, and we're sort of just building on what we had yesterday with the standard normal distribution. Our standard normal distribution is a normal curve, and we have some percentages that are broken down based on z-scores. And with z-scores, we have a 0 here, and the standard deviation is 1, so it goes 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. And with a normal distribution, we can kind of shift this around, so any number can be the mean here in the middle. And then we talk about how many standard deviations we are away from the mean. So within one standard deviation, that's mu minus sigma to mu plus sigma, this is 68% of the data when it's normally distributed. And if we go out 2 standard deviations, we have 95%. 3 standard deviations, 99.7%. So this is just called the empirical rule, and it's something you're going to want to kind of like commit to memory and be able to use. So if I go try to get some questions, first one coming out of WAMAP here, it says use the percentages in the figure below to estimate the total percentage under the curve between the indicated values. Find the total percentage between 74 and 78. So we need to find 74, happens to be the mean, and 78, 1 standard deviation to the right. And that's this region here. So 34%. Do not enter the percent symbol since it's given to you. So 34%. And we're really just kind of reading the graph for these ones. Here we have a shaded region given to us. We have a mean of 75. A standard deviation of 5, and we're using the empirical rule to determine the area of the shaded region. So again, 75 plus 5 gets us 80. This is 1 standard deviation to the right. 75 minus 5 gets us 70. This is 1 standard deviation to the left. So this is going to be 68%. Here is 75 to 80. This is 1 standard deviation to the right. Notice we only have 1 region shaded. So this is 34%. Now some things to note about a normal distribution. 50% of the data is to the left, 50% of the data is to the right, and so we're using these to find proportions. Here from 70 to 75, 75 minus 5 gets us 70. This is 1 standard deviation. So we have 1 standard deviation to the left. This will be 34 also. So, as you can see with these ones, sometimes if we know the information, we can just kind of read it and answer the question. Hopefully got them all correct. Yay. Now we're getting a little bit more crazy here. We have a mean of 68, a standard deviation of 8. And so I'm going to just take a snip of this, because you're kind of expected to show some work or make an explanation here. So I'll just hop over to Excel and we'll see how this goes. You can use the draw here if you want. Now we had a mean of 68 and a standard deviation of 8. So this is 1 standard deviation to the left, and if I do 1 to the right, this is 68%. Now 2 standard deviations. This is another one over here, and you can kind of just see. I don't actually remember what that was off the top of my head. I know that 95% would be both of these, but we have a part here that's not shaded. So if I have to do some work over here, maybe, actually don't draw, maybe use Excel. That region to the right, I know that 95 is 2 standard deviations, so minus 68. So I've got 30 in this tail and this tail. If I take 30 and divide it by 2, I need an equal sign. It's 15. So I've got 68 here plus 15 for just this right side. And if I click back to my notes, 13 and a half. 68, 95. What did I do here? 98. Now we got to make an adjustment here. So 27. Now this should be 27 divided by 2. I was like, I don't think that's right. Luckily I looked at the notes. So 13.5%. So I've got 68% here plus 13.5%, and that looks like this. So not a bad idea to keep your notes handy for a little bit. So that shaded region is going to be the middle 68 plus 13.5. And maybe I'll just grab this here for some work. Now here, I know that 2 standard deviations would go from here to here, and it would be, what was it? If you don't remember, click in your cell, look at your notes. 2 standard deviations is 95. This is half of it. We have one side shaded and one side not shaded. So equals 95 divided by 2, 4. Okay, my problem is that my 5's not working out so good. That keeps turning into an 8. Anyway, so we've got 47.5 here. And here we have 1 standard deviation to the left. Again, within 1 standard deviation, 68%. 68 divided by 2 is 34%. So 81.5, 47.5, 34. I forgot the middle one. 47.5. All right. So here we have a curve and we have some stuff. So we need to do a little bit of work. I'm going to just snip this again so that I can write on it. Over here in Excel, I'll add another tab. Maybe make it a little bit larger. So the mean. The mean is going to be right here in the middle. We just read this from this. So the mean here, in this case, 52. The standard deviation is the distance from here to here, or here to the next one. All those little marks along the way. So if I take 57 minus 52, I get a standard deviation of 5. Now, working on 68% of the values are between here. Notice we have 65, 95, and 99.7. Those are our empiricals. So 1 standard deviation. So here, over 1, left 1, right 1. This is 68%. So it's going to be from 47 to 57. 47, 57. 95% of the data is within 2 standard deviations, so now we add this region here on this side and this region here on this side, going all the way from 42 to 62. And then 99.7% is within 3 standard deviations. And if you just see here, that's almost this whole region, which is really kind of more like what it looks like. So it's going to be within 3 standard deviations, so we add this little tail and this little tail, and we're going from 37 all the way to 67. So I hope that helps, works as a good introduction. There's a few more types of questions. We'll see. Maybe we can get another video going, but I might let you just try these first. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.